Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Carmen. If it's your first time here, welcome. So glad you're here, and hope you enjoy this video, and if you do, consider giving it a like and subscribing. My channel is all about house plants in an apartment setting, balcony gardening with succulents, so maybe that's something you'll enjoy. Today I have something pretty special for you, I think. I'm going to be sharing with you, I think 6 plants I pulled, 6 plants that I believe are really great plants for beginners. They are plants that I'm going to be gifting my daughter as she sets up her first home. And I think if she can take care of them, you can take care of them too. So stay tuned to see what I have in store for you. Okay. Let's start off with some plants that I've actually taken cuttings from my plants that I will be giving her. And I think probably on everyone's list is this guy, the golden pothos. This definitely is, I believe, the easiest vining trailing plant that you can start off with. These are all actually rooted cuttings, every single one of them, rooted cuttings that I took from my golden pothos back here, that the mother plant that's just given off so many wonderful cuttings that I've gifted to other family members, and now that my daughter is going to be taking with her too. And even when I had it in water propagation, it was giving off new leaves. That's how hardy this plant is. It's very forgiving if you forget to water it. You can tell by the leaves, they get a little bit droopy and thinner. These are very thick, almost waxy leaves, and so it will tell you when it needs watering. But I have it in a potting mix that I developed myself. I mean, other plant tubers are using this also. I use some cocoa coir, orchid bark mix, perlite, and I threw in there some worm castings also for some nutrients, and that seems to be working really well. But if you don't have all of those things, you can definitely use regular potting mix. I tend to add perlite when I use regular potting mix to give it more drainage. This is in a pot that has a little lip here that to catch any overflow, because you always, if you're beginning, never ever would I recommend to a beginner to plant something in a pot, directly in a pot with no drainage hole. If you put it in the nursery pot that has drainage hole into another pot to catch the water, that's fine, but directly into one, never. So anyways, back to the golden pothos. This sits facing an east-facing window, but it's about 6 feet back from there, so it gets brighter morning sun, and then afternoon it's about medium light, and it still does really well there. It still has some of the golden in the leaves, and I don't know yet her light situation in her apartment that they're going to be getting. So I picked plants that will do well in medium to low light, and also possibly in brighter light too. So all of these will fit those situations. Okay, so the golden pothos is my first pick for her, and this is the actual one that she'll be taking with her, the cuttings off of my mother plant. Now another one that I took cuttings from is the aloe vera. And my aloe vera that sits out on my balcony is probably like a, I don't know, 5th generation of the original aloe vera that I left in my old home that was growing in the ground and was huge. It still gives off so many pups. These are pups that had already roots attached to them. So I was able to directly put them into this terracotta pot with some succulent soil and perlite mixed in, and they've rooted nicely. I actually have it right here, sitting right normally right here in this table, and it gets some morning light and the rest just afternoon, medium to higher indirect light. And aloe veras are so forgiving. Probably the easiest succulents you can start off with to grow. They require very little watering. Overwatering is the easiest way to kill a succulent. And so with both of them working, you know, I'm giving them plants that they're not going to need to worry about on a daily basis. At the most, weekly, definitely every 2 weeks to check them as far as if the soil is dry and if that plant needs water. These I tend to let dry out completely. I will use either my finger or more accurately a moisture meter to put down in there. Once it's in the red and it reads dry, that's when I will water it, letting water come out. Succulents, I always put in a terracotta type of pot to help them wick away any excess moisture, so you don't want them sitting in a lot of moisture. So this aloe vera is going to grow nicely for them and do well, I think. So, and another one that came from a mother plant. So continuing on with kind of succulent type, I'm also going to be getting them a Sansevieria of some kind. This one is mine. This is a bird's nest Sansevieria. Honey Eye, I believe it is. It's one that I recently got. And I like the bird's nest versions of Sansevierias. I'll show you some of the other ones that I have that are the taller ones that you may be more familiar with, because they're so compact. Again, saving space, not knowing exactly, you know, where they're going to be able to put things. Something like this will be great for them as a beginner because it takes very little water. This plant does better actually if you ignore it. Water it maybe, you know, every 3 weeks. In the wintertime, even less. This one, actually, I noticed yesterday that it's getting a pup in there. See if you can see that. But it's getting a little pup in there. So they propagate really well. They grow pups really well. And this can do well in a low to medium light situation. So if they put it on a, you know, a table in the living room or in the bedroom or something like that, it will still do well even in a bathroom situation, as long as there's some light coming in there. So, but I like the compactness of it to save on space also. So the Sansevieria is the third one that I would choose for beginners. Next one are Aglaonemas, and this one is an Aglaonema Maria. I have this one sitting directly in front of my east-facing patio window, so it does get dappled morning direct light, and the rest of the day is high indirect light. These are, I think, just the easiest. Aglaonema, Chinese evergreens in general, I think are the easiest larger foliage plants, I guess you could say, that you can take care of. I have one, another Aglaonema Silver Bay that I've taken a cutting from that I'm rooting for her, and I'll show you a picture of that here. It's not quite ready to be placed in soil yet. The roots aren't mature enough, but that's the one that she'll be taking with her as an Aglaonema that she can take care of. And these I water really when the top 3 inches, 2 or 3 inches is dry. Again, these plants do better on neglect than over care, than fussing over them. They don't like to be fussed over. They don't like a lot of water. They don't like to sit in, the roots sit in water. So knowing that they're not going to be able to be watering, you know, every other day or weekly or whatever, having these that they can water every 10 to 14 days is easier for the beginner, for them. So, and there's so many foliage variations that you can choose from. This is just one, you know, they come in pinks, which I'm on the search of a pink one. I have the red cyan. I mean, they're just really beautiful plants that grow very quickly and offer just a beautiful tropical look to your home. Okay, so the next one I couldn't do this list without recommending a philodendron. This heartleaf philodendron is probably one of the easiest of the philodendrons. I would also recommend the Brazil or the neon one. This one I've had for a couple of months now, maybe 3 months, and I got from Hirt's Gardens. It was in really bad shape when I got it, but it has recovered very, very nicely. I have it in a ceramic pot. It's actually a soup mug that I had purchased at the Goodwill store and drained a hole in it, or drilled a hole in it. And it was very compact when I put it in here. But since then it's trailing. It's in my bedroom right now, and it sits in front of my east-facing window. It gets a little bit of direct morning light, dappled really, and then the rest is high bright light. It's so easy to take care of. I sometimes forget it's even there. I don't really fuss over it. I let it dry out pretty much completely. Again, the leaves will tell me as far as the thickness of them, the way they feel, the limpness of them. It's really giving out a lot of new growth. It's just, look at that, it's doing wonderfully under those conditions. It is in the potting mix that I put together with the cocoa coir and the orchid bark, perlite, and worm castings. But as far as starting off on philodendrons, this is probably the easiest one. Again, the Brazil may be the next one. Very easily to get one. You can find them even in big box stores. And this one is the 5th one that I would recommend for easy beginner plants. Philodendron heartleaf. The last one is the Scindaptus Pictus arguraeus, I think it's pronounced. This is another one that I got from Hirt's Gardens that was just very compact, and it's really just giving off trails recently. This is becoming much more easily obtainable. You're finding it a lot more in big box stores. It's not as elusive as it used to be, which is great because it's such an easy plant to take care of. And it sits right here on my sofa table facing east, and it's doing so well there. I'm getting ready to find a place for it to hang because it's starting to trail so much. Now these, you can easily put a little moss pole in it and train it to go up, but I have a place for it where I'm going to place it to trail down. So these again are in that soil mix that I put together. I let it dry out pretty much completely. Stick my finger in there, but you know, I'm tending to use more the moisture meter lately. Just being diabetic, I'm losing a lot of feeling in my fingers, so sometimes I can't really tell if I feel moisture or not. So I'm starting to use the moisture meter much more, and that's much more reliable than second guessing. It's in this beautiful ceramic Aloe Vera pot. I just love these. They're so wonderful in color. And it's just a beautiful plant, very easy to take care of. A lot of people look at this, oh no, I can't take care of that. It really is an easy plant. I would recommend it for beginners even. Not a lot of fuss needed to this one at all. Okay, so there you have it, friends. Those are my 6 that I'll be recommending not only to my daughter, but any beginner out there that's just starting out in houseplants and has caught that houseplant collecting bug and wants to get started, not sure what to get. These are probably the easiest plants that will fit in low light, medium light, and higher indirect light. They don't require a lot of fussing with water or anything like that. And if anything, all of these tend to do better on a little bit of neglect instead of fussing over them. And they'll do well. Do you have any other ones that you want to recommend? I know it was kind of hard. You know, I didn't pick the peace lily or the ZZ plant, which are, you know, I'll give them a notable recommendation there too. But I wanted to pick some that were a little bit different than the other standard ones. So if you have some that you think are really easy, let me know down in the comments below. You know, I can definitely recommend them to my daughter and or to other individuals that are looking to start their houseplant collection. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video, friends, please do give it a thumbs up. Appreciate you so much, in any type of interaction you have with my videos. That helps me out so much. I'm going to try and do more home-based videos because, you know, right now we're all kind of hunkering down. I did venture out last week to look at some pots, and I appreciate all of your concern in my going out, but we're all fine. And I was just going a little stir crazy. I had to get out. So I'll be doing a little bit more home-based videos. Let me know down in the comments below some of the videos that perhaps you would like to see from me, and any support that you can give my channel I appreciate so very much. Thanks so much, friends. I appreciate your stopping by. Remember to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Thanks so much, friends. Appreciate you. Have a blessed day.